going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and today I am doing a full review of one knife, one variation of the knife, but I'm also doing a quick little overview of a different variation of a knife that I've already reviewed, so I'm not going to go in too much in depth on that, but we're going to talk about some pyrites today. So of course, here you have the Bowie Pyrite. This is the one that I'm going to touch on real quick. I've already reviewed the Pyrite, and it's pretty much the same knife, just a different blade shape. And then we have the Pyrite Light here, which is going to be the one that I fully review because it's basically a brand new knife. You know, it's a bigger model, you know, different. You have the choil. It's a bigger knife, obviously, like I said, different materials. So this is going to be the one we're going to fully review. But quickly, we're going to touch on the Pyrite Bowie. This is rocking some wood scales, obviously, wood inlays, excuse me, on some steel scales. You guys can see full liners right there. There is some internal milling. Of course, you have the button lock. You have the fuller as well as the thumb studs, which is nice for action. AR RPM 9 steel, excuse me. And CJRB's typical budget loop over style deep carry wire pocket clip. Loop over style deep carry clip that is not reversible. I didn't carry this too much, to be completely honest with you guys. You know, I've already had the Pyrite in. You know, the Warncliffe with the hole, love that knife. This feels pretty close to it. Obviously, it just has different opening mechanisms. So you have the thumb stud, which works really good, as well as the fuller, which is nice to flick off of. But it really, you know, doesn't feel, besides the hole versus the thumb stud and fuller combo, you know, being different, it feels the same way. You know, you have pretty much the same feeling button action here. You know, it's a good sub $50 knife. I mean, the Pyrite is really, I would say it's a budget king right now in all different relevations of it or variations of it, however you want to pronounce it or say it. But, you know, the Bowie definitely, it's a good solid knife. I just, you know, I've already been there, done that, and I was really more focused on getting to know the Pyrite Light because I think that this is the best budget knife you can buy right now on the market. And a lot of the other variations of the Pyrite are definitely in that conversation as well. So that's kind of why I'm not really going to touch base too much on this knife, but I am going to leave a link to it down below. There are 4 different variations, excuse me, on Amazon. So of course this one, you have a fully stone washed steel and blade. You have a blackened steel handle with rose gold on, wrong Pyrite, with rose gold on the blade and all the hardware. Then you have a, looks like micarta inlay here instead of wood. And then of course you have a fully blacked out steel and blade combo, which you can see on all of the listings on Amazon. This one goes for 47 bucks, $47.99. So sub 50 bucks, I think that's a great buy. And yeah, it's really all I have to say about the Pyrite Bowie. And here we are going to talk about the Pyrite Light. And like I said earlier, not to give too much away, but I think this is arguably the best, if not the best knife you can buy right now for the price. Most of you probably already know what these go for, but we'll touch on that later in the video. Quickly here, we are going to jump into my full review. So starting off with materials, let me click over here to the Pyrite page, or Pyrite Light page on Amazon, which I'll also leave a link to down below. There are 4 different variations of this knife. So you have this combination, the black and the green. You have a blue and a green. They just recently came out with a Stormtrooper, so a white and a black. And then you can get the same blue, but with a stonewash blade, which I think looks very good. Stumbled over my words a lot today. Just one of those days, guys. It's been a long week. But starting off, you have AR RPM 9 blade steel on this beautiful Warncliffe style blade. My phone will pick it up right there. They have added a really nice choil. It's a bigger blade, so this is coming in at 3.34 inches. And I believe we'll say the Bowie Pyrite, for example, is 3.15. So you definitely have a bigger blade to handle ratio, which is really nice. I've enjoyed the, you know, largerness of the blade. It's ridiculously thin. I mean, look at that blade stock. Comes down to a thin edge, beautiful tip. Really, really love the blade on the Pyrite Light. CJRB right there. You have a green FRN handle with some nice texturing in there. You have a, again, loop over style deep carry clip that CJRB has been using for quite a while. It is reversible, which is nice. You know, for the price, I'm not going to complain too much about not getting a filler tab in there. Excuse me. But you have some standoffs back here. There is no internal milling. It's FRN, so it's very, very lightweight to begin with. Of course, it's a button lock. And yeah, not too much to write home about. I mean, it's a pretty plain Jane when it comes to materials, but I think sometimes that's a good thing. And again, tying everything back into the price, which we'll get to later, 5 out of 5 for me. AR RPM 9 blade steel is always works solid in my opinion. I know there's been kind of some beef with it in the past, kind of some drama, but I think it works fine for my EDC tasks. And FRN, you know, I'm not going to say I'm a fan of FRN, but FRN has never really bothered me too much, so I'm not going to complain again too much for it. I really like the green and black combo. It looks pretty good. I like all the combos. I would have to be, you know, I don't know which one's my favorite because I love Stormtrooper. You know, the blue and the black go together really well, but then like I said, the blue and the Stonewash also look very good together as well. So let me see if there's some more specs on here because I'm curious if, again, I'm using Amazon because that's where you can get it cheaper, and it's just nice because if you have Prime shipping, it's quick and easy. But the weight is not on here, I don't think. Oh, it is. So 2.82 ounces. So sub 3 ounces for a 3 1/4 inch blade is phenomenal. It's a very, very good ratio. So that is awesome. But yeah, we're going to move on next to aesthetic. I think it looks fantastic. I'm not even going to talk too much about it, but that's going to be an easy 5 as well. I mean, I just think adding the choil, you know, it looks good. I love the Wharncliffe blade. Again, I love the little texturing they have going on here. Love the black and the green combo. Just looks like a nice, slim, slicey, appealing knife. So 5 out of 5 on that. Next up is the action. So you have dual thumb studs right here. The D10 I'm not going to go out and say is like phenomenal. It's not, you know, gonna blow you away or anything like that, but it's good. It's snappy. You can thumb flick it very well. You can, of course, slow roll it, but thumb flicking works phenomenal. Middle finger or reverse flick works really, really good. No blade play at all, locked up really, really tight. You have the button there for deployment and disengaging the knife. You guys can see drops home, holding it still, push a button, drops home. Very, very reliable. And like I said, it's not, you know, the most snappiest D10, but I mean, it's, again, you guys can see, it's hard for me to fail it. I'm trying to, there we go. I mean, you can do it, but like you really have to be trying to do it. You pull out your pocket and you flick it with any sort of force, it's going to come right out. Closing, very, very smooth. It's on ceramic bearings, so I mean, really nice, smooth action. And if, the Pyrite's been around for a long time. It's very on brand with what the Pyrites have been feeling before, action-wise. And it might even be a little bit better because you do have a longer blade, so a bigger blade, which means it's dropping more freely and better. So that's going to get a 5 out of 5 as well. We're starting off perfect through 3 categories so far, but I think this is where we're going to fall short on the category of being perfect, and that is acoustics. It's always one that kind of gives knives trouble. I mean, it's good. You get a little bit of button stick there, but it kind of comes and goes. FRN is definitely a sound dampener when it comes to the action on some knives. So, I mean, I still think it's good though, because when you get into a rhythm with button locks, I mean, it's just repetitive, just open, close, open, close, open, close. And it just really, it gives a nice sound off. You get a nice thwack, nice snap. But again, it's not overly loud. I don't know where to go with this. I mean, this is going to be literally, I think, looking ahead, Ergos is going to get a 5, Carry is going to get a 5, and Price Point and Value is going to get a 5. But I think on this one, I have to give it a 3.5. It's just, it's still good. And you guys know 3.5, you know, lands in the, how do I say this? A 3.5 for acoustics is usually run-of-the-mill, still good, not great. I would say 4 to 4.5 is great. Well, usually 3.5 is good, 4 is great, 4.5 is fantastic, and of course 5, which very few knives get, is, you know, perfect in my opinion. So I think 3.5 is good. I mean, it's pretty run-of-the-mill, which is, again, fine, good, however you want to slice it, not, you know, ripping on the acoustics of the Pyrite Light by any means, but that's where I'm landing with it, though. 3.5. Next up is ergos. Like I've already stated a few times in this video, they have, of course, added a choil, which is wonderful ergonomically. I mean, I talked earlier how thin the blade is. Well, the whole knife in general is thin, which is awesome. FRN, yeah, you can bend it a little bit, but that's just, you know, due to the nature of how lightweight and thin the material is. But when it's coming to EDC tasks, and as long as you're, you know, I don't know if this would necessarily handle it probably would. This would probably handle a pretty good beating. But, you know, regular EDC tasks, FRN does great. Choked back, I can get all 4 fingers in the knife very, very comfortably. You just get a really nice, you know, the lines in this knife are nice. You have pretty much a straight line right here, tapers around, gets thin, and then it has a nice finger groove right there where my pointer finger wraps around. There's some jimping up top there on the blade. My thumb lands right on there perfectly. And this is a very, very comfortable grip. The pot clip is, of course, again, a loop over style deep carry clip, so you have a little bit of kind of some pokiness back here. But honestly, my hand just escapes that. It is literally, like, if my hands were any bigger, I might have an issue with it. But honestly, the way this fits right now, this is really, really comfortable. My hand is locked in here. I'm ready to do some work. And then, of course, you just basically take your pointer finger off like this, slide it up a little bit, wrap it around the choil, and then you have awesome control over push cuts. You have, again, just a stupid thin and slicey blade. Pinch grip works pretty good, of course, with a Wharncliffe. You just have to be careful not to disengage the knife with the button lock, but for dropping down there, opening packages, cutting through tape, things of that nature, works really good. Lightweight as all hell, you know, sub 3 ounces. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really more to say. It's just really, really comfortable. This texturing adds a little bit of grip, which is nice. Choked back, choked up. I mean, no way to complain about the ergonomics of this knife. And next up is carry, which not too much to complain about there either, if anything. 2.82 ounces for a 3.34 inch blade. How is that even possible? I mean, sits down so thin in your pocket, sits pretty much flush with your pants, which is really, really nice. You have no flipper tab, no jimping, anything like that to risk pulling this up out of your pocket when you reach beneath it. I mean, I feel like there's not much to talk about. You know, it's lightweight, it's thin, I mean, it rides deep in your pocket. Like, I just don't understand. Like, there's nothing really. I don't want to ramble, but like, there's just nothing to talk about. You know, it's that pretty much explains itself right there. You know, to me, it just, that combination of, again, deep carry pot clip, sub 3 ounces, thin, no flipper tab. I mean, that pretty much is just a perfect carry. I've carried this in my gym shorts, just dropped in a pocket, can't feel it's there. You know, I've carried this in my bird dogs and my khakis, can't feel it's there. This is just a phenomenal carry, and, you know, I really can't say enough good things about this knife, to be, you know, completely honest with you guys. So 5 out of 5 on the carry. And that brings me to my final category of price point / value / would I recommend this knife. Guys, if you don't have a Pyrite Light in your collection and you're an EDC guy, which, looking at my collection right now, I don't have one. That's just because I've been, you know, carrying this one around. But as soon as I get rid of this knife, or get rid of it, send it to the next person, I'm going to go buy one of these. I don't, like, for $30, that is a price point I've been alluding to this whole time. $29.99. And if you have Amazon Prime, which a lot of people have these days, you can get Prime shipping, and it ships in like a day. Like, for $30 for getting, I mean, just an absolute awesome EDC knife for no frills. I mean, I don't care if you're, you know, if you're a high-end collector, or if you're, you know, a newbie getting into the EDC world. I think that this has a place for everyone, in everyone's collection. And I mean, I can't applaud CJRB enough for coming out with this, because they already had the Pyrite, you know, platform with multiple blade shapes and Pyrite XL. They have the aficionado Pyrite, which is like the S90V fat carbon. I mean, they've really stretched it out, and I didn't think that they could get, you know, much more budgeter, is that even a word, budgeter, budget friendly, than like the low $40 you know, normal Pyrite. But lo and behold, they have, and I think that they have executed it perfectly. I mean, again, it's kind of just a no frills, you know what you're getting knife, but I mean, there's a lot to be excited about with this, I think. And like I said, I'm going to purchase one. Now they just came out with some new colors, I have to decide which one I want. I will say the new colors are $10 more. I don't know why they're making it a little bit more expensive, but the $30 ones are this one and the blue handled black blade one. But the Stormtrooper and the blue and Stonewash is $40, which again, not really sure. Oh, well, okay, so it says $40, but then of course you can apply a $25 coupon on Amazon, which will take it down to $30. I don't know why that's set up that way, but I guess when you look on here for this one and the blue black one, it says $29.99, but it shows that it's 25% off. So I guess they're all $30, which makes it an even better buy. And honestly, I'm probably gonna buy one of these right after I do this video, just because I want this in my collection, guys. I really do. I think it's the best budget knife currently on the market, and I think it's going to be pretty dang hard to beat, you know, coming up. Unless other companies see what CJRB was able to do and they start releasing, you know, models to compete with this for this price point, which I would love. I would love to see, you know, that $30 to $40 kind of budget war, which we're already kind of having with a lot of brands these days. But again, I think that this is just the best budget knife you can get on the market, and I think that it is just a beautiful knife, and it's really, really well done. And again, I think it has a place in everyone's collection. So let me add this up real quick. I don't think I have to do too much math, but it's coming in at a 33.5, which lands it in the fantastic category. Again, I think that's a very, very accurate rendition of this knife. I think that's a great score. And yeah, I've really, really enjoyed my time with it. And like I said, I'm planning on adding one to my collection here pretty soon, if not right after I film and upload this video. But leave a comment down below. Have any of you guys picked up one of the versions of the Pyrite Light? If you do, have you enjoyed it as much as I have, or do you have some gripes with it? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you guys again so much for watching. This was my full review of the Pyrite Light with a little blurb on the Pyrite Bowie. But huge shout out to Kevin over at Lefty DC for letting us check this dope stuff out all the time. Always appreciate you, Kev. And I appreciate you guys as well. So for the second or third time now, thank you guys again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, day, night, whenever you're watching this. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.